Hello there, Assassins, and welcome to episode 47 of Rally the Creed Live. We're an Assassin's Creed community podcast focusing on content creators within the community. We cover news and everything related to the franchise. I want to say a massive thank you to all of our guests so far this year. And this week, joining us is none other than Rick Boer.
Hello.
If you've spent any time in the Assassin's Creed community, there are chances that you've seen Rick's work, from incredible costumes and props to some of the most authentic Assassin's Creed cosplay projects out there. He has been bringing the Assassin's Creed world to life for years. And alongside Rick, we have Gillian from Mentor's Collection. Gillian has built one of the most impressive Assassin's Creed collections in the community, showcasing everything from rare statues and collectibles to some truly stunning displays that any Assassin's Creed fan would be jealous of. Thank you both of you for joining me. And today's topics are, we're going to be talking about Resynced, obviously. We're going to be talking about cosplay, meeting Matt Ryan, you two working partnership, questions from the fans, pets, San Francisco, and much more. But before we get started, how are you both?
Good. Yeah, definitely super excited to be on the podcast. Super excited to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And with Rick about everything that we have done so far.
Yeah, thank you for having us. So cool to be here. And I don't think we've talked about what happened in San Francisco to friends and family, obviously, but
that's it.
We haven't talked about it very much online or whatever. So will be kind of fun to share some of the stories and the experiences.
So I've been trying to get Rick back on the show for a few weeks now. It's been super busy.
Sorry,
super busy.
Live.
It's okay. And when you messaged me to be like, "Oh, would you like us to come on?" I was like, "Yes, please. Let's do this." So I'm looking forward to this. This is very exciting for me. So I don't know if you realise, Rick, but you were my first guest I did on the podcast.
Oh,
really?
8 months ago. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it's great to have you back on.
Quite a few things have happened since then on Assassin's Creed levels. Yeah.
So before we start, we generally do a what have you guys been up to this week? So what projects have you been getting up to?
Many.
Yeah, quite a few, and I think we can talk about some of them. But we've done some content for Ubisoft for social media stuff that is still in the works, and we're preparing some things that are still coming up, and some of them are for Ubisoft, and others are because we were just nerds and we love Black Flag and Assassin's Creed, and so I've kind of hijacked my family and working on costumes for the kids. So I got Jennifer Scott for my middle child, my youngest daughter, and my little boy. He was like, "I want to be a pirate too," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I made him a little costume too, and for Balana, the oldest child too. I already made James Kidd, Mary Reed, and we're going to combine all of that. And you've been glued to your screen mostly.
Yeah, I've been glued to my screen, setting up everything, buying my own setup because I have to work at home with all the amount of content that this guy requires. Yeah, it's been crazy doing all the reels and all the pictures, but it's just so cool to see everything come to life because just like Rick, it started out I started out as a fan, and I started following him, and just to work alongside with Rick very closely now, that's just incredible.
It's great to see that it's become a family affair now. That the kids are getting into it as well, which is really good. And that's great to see. And then obviously you two working together has been fantastic. Rick's kind of like the face, and then you're behind the scenes, and it's really good to see.
And the thing is, I think that people sometimes underestimate that. I mean, the costumes have to be good. That's my obsession, and I've always done that. It has to be good, and you either do something or you don't. So you start. Yeah. I started out with Boba Fett from Star Wars, and I was 14, 15 years old, and I recreated every single scratch, every single silver dinghy on every part of the costume. It had to be one-on-one. And with these game characters, it's the same goal. But the thing is, there's quite a difference if you're at a con and somebody makes a phone shot, or it becomes like this full-blown cinematic-worthy shot. Whether it's a picture or a movie, Gil is capable of producing shots where I don't recognize myself anymore. It's not. I'm not looking at Rick. I'm looking at oh bloody hell. That's Edward Kenway. Whoa, that's awesome. So it's very strange, and it shouldn't be underestimated that. I mean, we've been going quite well on internet and with exposure and stuff, but that's through his lens. You know, I make the costumes, I wear the costumes, but we decide on shots, we decide on the direction of the videos, the scripts. There's so much going on before the shot is out there, and that is mostly from Gil's magic hand. So that's. Yeah, I think that shouldn't be underestimated. That it's not just click and done. You know.
No. But before we even get to the shots, we have tons of scripts. I save them so I can show everybody how much work goes into just making the scripts. Then you have to find the music that's correctly with it. You have to think everything through before you even start with it, and then you're not even talking about how expensive everything is.
Yeah. And then but also like the color saturations, the gradients, the contrast on your pictures, what vibe you're looking for. There's a lot involved, really.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's so much. So I recently bought a DJI Pocket 3, and I've been taking it everywhere with me. Whenever we go anywhere, we do a lot of castles and stuff. So I'm always taking it with me. And if I'm thinking Assassin's Creed, I'd like to plan out what I'm doing and what I want to record. And
smart.
And then when you post it, people are like, "Oh, this is really good." Like, yeah, this 30-second clip is great, but it took me 4 hours to sort out and plan and get shots for it. It's great to see this.
We did a video, and we were gathering materials for it because we had the costumes, and we did a shoot at the beach, and then we said, well, let's go back to the beach, and we're gonna get some props. You know, that would be fun. That's a great idea. You know, like I made a little tent, and he got a barrel and all this tons of crap. You know. And I worked closely to the beach. I was like, it's not that far, so we could just go there. And I had a friend of mine helping, and a colleague of mine was coming there with his guitar, and we were gonna film some things. And it was really nice. Even made a crewman outfit from Edward's boat for my colleague, and it's all good. And then we came there, but at this beach, they that weekend before we did, or that Wednesday before we did it on the weekend, they put on these vacation houses on the beach. So we came up on the beach, and we had like these two stupid kid stroller thingies to haul everything with us, and it was like 4 or 5 trips to get everything across. And we went to the water, and we looked, holy crap, that's like 3 kilometers. So we were dragging all this crap through the sand, and the wheels got stuck, and
and it was heavy. It was warm, and we were sweating, and so by the time we set everything up, we were completely dead, and then the day had to start, and then you also had to live with the idea that you have to put everything back at the end.
Yep. And then it started raining, so everything was soaking wet, and it was cold, and then it was done, and we had to haul everything back off, and then the sun came through, and it was bloody hot. You look at these arms. He was knackered. He was dead. It was
just for 4 reels.
Yeah.
For 4 reels, and those are not longer than 20 seconds each or something.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. So that's the thing that nobody sees, but it's we laugh about it, but it was really tough.
Yeah. When you said that it was really heavy, I was like, you've got the arms to carry it.
But the sand, it just got stuck every time I had to take breaks. I was completely dead.
When you're talking about the rain and stuff, so I went to see a 17th century Spanish galleon in Cardiff. And it was fantastic. wanted to go. I planned loads of Assassin's Creed content. I had my camera and everything with me. Then it started to rain, and I couldn't record stuff outside on the camera because the camera's not waterproof. There was so much that I couldn't. It's like, oh no, I was getting incredibly frustrated. But I got the shots that I wanted, and it worked in the end. Not on a scale of your production, but
well, the thing is because what's so funny is the way that we kind of met. I was in between videographers, photographers, if you will, and I had a few contacts. And my former steady partner on this level was Anne Fleur from Velvet Art Videography. And she was Ubisoft's intern, and then she worked for Ubisoft in China, but that's kind of far away, you know. So, and I had a couple of people with some fun experiences and stuff, but everybody pursues their own path. So I was on the lookout for something, and then I saw this guy on internet making videos of these statues and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's some fine imagery, you know. So I was like, what did I send you?
Can you shoot stuff like that in the wild?
Oh yeah,
that's literally what you said. Can you do that, but in the wild? I was like, probably.
Yeah. So we went to the beach, and we never met before, and that was almost a year ago, I think.
Yeah, a year ago. I think this month, yeah.
And it's just kind of funny how things went from there. It's like, oh, that escalated quickly. Yeah. Because since then, a lot has happened, and it's just such a relief to meet someone who is just as obsessed with getting results as I am. So it's like I don't have to do it on my own anymore. It's like you know, let's because you talked about the rain. Oh, it was raining, and we were like, oh, if it's gonna rain, oh, who cares? You know,
the scene.
And I don't care either. I mean, I jump in the water with these stupid costumes, and it's and you make things for production. So like the crocodile head or the swords or whatever. If it goes away with water or something damages, I don't care. It's for the production. I'll fix it later. It's fine. And he just jumps in. It's like he goes right after it, and it's so it's you do it or you don't do it, and it's so cool to go on these adventures. But mostly, what I appreciate most is the personal connection. I mean, you kind of develop a friendship because you do these most extraordinary things.
Crazy stuff.
It's ridiculous, and I don't share that with anyone really that I know, not on that level, because you create together. And to have this same set of goals and to raise the creative boundaries, we're also now already looking like beyond Black Flag. Exposure-wise, it's probably going to go down a bit, and we don't give a damn because it's like, what can we do next to do something new for us? What's your angle on the digital camera front? You know, what is the new locations, or we want to shoot in the dark, we want to shoot with lights, let's do a smoke machine, let's maybe we can do miniatures like vehicles or things in the background, and so and it's just keeps on going, and it's not, oh, can we do that? It's like, oh, how we're going to do that, and that's just brilliant. So it's been a joyride. It's awesome. Yeah,
I'm actually shocked that you guys have only been working together for a year. I thought it was a lot longer than this.
No, it feels longer. Yeah, it feels longer.
This is such a good thing, because I 100% agree with you guys. Like, I've been with the ones who came before for a year now, and I've met some great people, and Cole, who is my other host, I'm now friends with him. Like, he's coming to my wedding where we work together all the time. And a year ago, it was just some random guy that sent me a message, and now here we are.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Can you do that in the wild? No.
Yeah, and we're going on a family trip too. So
that's nice.
There is a question I wanted to ask you guys. Why Assassin's Creed? What is it about Assassin's Creed that drew you to the franchise? and has got such a hold over yourselves?
Yeah, for me, my brothers really got me into gaming, and my brother Kevin once came home to me in the weekend and he gave me Assassin's Creed 1, and I was like, I played it in 2009 or so I must have been 10 or 12. And
I feel old.
Yeah, the old guy. Yeah, sorry guys.
Okay, I'm just gonna go now and change my diaper. Oh my god.
No, and I got really addicted to the game, to the story, although I didn't understand it completely with the English and stuff, but then at some point he came home with Assassin's Creed 2, like, oh my god, there's a second one, because I was young, there's no social media, so everything is a surprise at that time. And Assassin's Creed 2 just got me hooked. It's the best game I've ever played so far, and it will always be my favorite. But AC2 really got me into the franchise, and that just stuck with me.
Yes, same. It's already gamer nerd, obviously, and then there came Assassin's Creed. I borrowed it from a friend who was a history teacher. And I'm a biology teacher, but he teaches history, and he said, "Rick, you got to play this. It's awesome. It's during the Third Crusade, and you even meet Salah ad-Din, and it's about Jerusalem, Accra, and Damascus. It plays in the Holy Land, and it has this weird thing where DNA stores memories." And I was, oh, that's cool. And so I like the sci-fi effect of it. I mean, I think people always say that like Star Wars is science fiction. No, it's not. It's fantasy, but it takes place in a space setting. Jurassic Park is science fiction because it has a fictional story with some science facts, and Assassin's Creed is science fiction. They kind of lost that along the way because the modern day era isn't that big anymore, but it is science fiction in its core, and both aspects of that appealed. So I played the first one, 2007, and the first sandbox game that wasn't about just killing everything and everyone, and you know what I'm talking about. And so I was like, oh, that's really something different. And then came 2, same way, you know. There was like I learned about Assassin's Creed 2 from a poster in a store window, you know. Now I feel really old, but that's how I knew about Assassin's Creed 2. And I was like, there's a second one coming. Oh, that must be cool. And the moment that game kicks in, the modern day story is like, oh, we have to escape, so it goes haywire, and then you start out with this flamboyant, loud mouth. I mean, you crawl into the bedroom of your girl and get kicked out by her father. It was such a different approach, and the music and the story and everything. I think, you know, Empire Strikes Back is, I think, better than Star Wars. I think Aliens is better than Alien. And I think Assassin's Creed 2 is better than AC1 on every front. Not that AC1 is a bad game.
Definitely not.
But it's like, you know, the Charizard of Charmander. They kind of skipped Charmeleon. It was like, and then he's there. So it did everything right. So that was pretty amazing. And I was already into costuming, so it was a logical step to do one of them at least. And to be honest, I always felt the more of a connection with the stoic Altair. I thought his demeanor was pretty cool, so I chose him as a first character and did Ezio actually much later on, the costume. And so it was that's how it all started basically. And for a hobby to a convention. And then Ubisoft Belgium, they said, "Hey, can you stand in the background of an interview?" Sure, whatever. And I did my thing, like moving through the crowd like that, and people like that. And we're gonna forward your contact info to our colleagues in the Netherlands. And yeah, sure, you know, whatever. And that's when, and then it just exploded. So that's it's been crazy, but it's been fun, and I've enjoyed every title, all of them.
So I was drawn to AC1 as well. I thought it was a great game. I didn't particularly like Desmond at the start, but then AC2, I love Italy, I love Rome, and something drew me to AC2, and that was it. Ezio is just so well written, and everything in that game is, like you said, the story, the music, the setting, everything just drew you in so much. And I don't think I could put this game down. Like now I have don't do physical copies of games, but I have all 3 of the Ezio collection in physical copy. Because I won't even use them. I just wanted them just so that I could have them. Yeah, I've loved every title in a roundabout sort of way. But we will get to Black Flag later. But
Black Flag was that? What's Black Flag? No, sorry. Go on. Yeah, sorry.
I think we've briefly touched on it. Who is your favorite protagonist, and what is your favorite game?
Ezio from AC2. There's something about him. It was just so relatable. I think from like a young man growing up, wanting revenge, but also I think for a younger generation, I could learn so much from him. Just to like when he was killing and he kept stabbing, and his uncle's like, you have to show respect. And I don't know, that stuck with me. Always to like, maybe you should just always be the bigger man instead of just doing what feels better. So for me, Ezio from AC2 is by far my favorite.
Edward Bloody Kenway.
Yep.
So it's
fair enough.
Yeah, and he's exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about anything but himself in the beginning, and then he grows into something a bit more than that. I was already a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan and Disney fan, and I remember I was studying at home, and then I got the contact from Ubisoft, Leon Winkler, and he sent me a text or something with like, "Hey, are you ready for Piet Piraat?" which is this dumb Belgium Dutch cartoony pirate thingy.
Kids pirate.
Yeah. And I was like, "What is it? Is it gonna be pirates this time?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I saw him for the first time, and I got some of the assets. That was like early 2013, I think. And it was like a video that covers him from angles. He's just standing still, and then you see multiple angles and some shots and like a press kit or something. And then I was like, oh, he's blonde. And it's a pirate. And I was like, oh, and it was already, I mean, I was an Assassin's Creed fan, and then, everything just lined up. And I remember the first thing I actually did when I finally got the game, we already done some of the promotional stuff, was put the soundtrack in, the disc that came with the game. And it was everything that I hoped it would be, because it felt like pirates, not exactly Pirates of the Caribbean, but that opening tune, I was already hooked. I was already sold. I didn't care if the game was good or not. It was like the character, the soundtrack, the setting, and I was done. And then came the character and the story and everything else, and it just blew me away. I have always said that Black Flag isn't my favorite AC game. It's one of my all-time favorite games, apart from it being an Assassin's Creed game.
Definitely.
And it's right up there with like Ocarina of Time, which was my all-time favorite game when I was a kid, and that kind of sticks with you. Oh, did you hear? No, never mind. But it's
that is actually, it's unrelated, but that is on my list of questions later. That is.
Okay, so it's crazy. So for me, it's absolutely and I'm not saying that now because we did some crazy stuff. I've always said Black Flag is my ultimate favorite Assassin's Creed game. I don't think anything, whatever's gonna come next, whatever came after, I liked all of them, and we've had adventures with all of them, so I'm already biased. But Black Flag has a special place in my heart. So it's just such a bizarre, absolutely bizarre experience to be literally back on board again. You could have told me to my in 2013. I had one kid, and Balana was like 1 year old, and Dylan was born in 2014. You couldn't have told me back then, like, like 13, 14 years, and you're gonna meet Matt Ryan, he's gonna wear a costume, you're gonna go, it's yeah, right, bloody hell, man. So it's been absolutely crazy. So this is, it's a weird year, in a good way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good. My next question, before we start talking about Resynced, last time you were on the show, Rick, we spoke about what we want from Resynced, but we couldn't talk much about if it was real or not. I want to know if you can answer this. When you were on that show, did you know about Resynced at the time?
8 months ago, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, how the hell do I answer that? The thing is, I have been fortunate enough that Ubisoft has trusted my work, and that makes me as a person for years, and I'm so thankful to them and everybody on board for believing in that. And so I have some contacts here and there, some within, some without, outside of, and so I had a very, 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 very strong feeling that it was indeed coming. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't included.
Yeah. No confirmation. Nothing. No.
Edward was I was like, I've been doing this for 15 years now. I think something like that. And yeah, since 2009, something like that. And we've been to LA with my wife. I even brought my daughter. I was able to do that, and I was able to do that because Ubisoft supported us and our work. And San Diego, Shanghai, Vienna, Paris. I've been over the entire bloody globe for this. But every single trip, every single time, I have always told myself, this is it. I'm so thankful to be here. I can't believe it, and I need to. Sometimes I would just, like this sounds really crazy, but I was outside the Bonaventure Hotel in LA, and sometimes just, touch the wall, and well, look, where am I now? What the hell just happened? What am I doing? And because you glue a thingy together, and it's crazy. So it's never a given, It's never like I expect it to continue forever. It's so you have to be grateful for these like cherries on the cake of your life. And so when I heard the rumors, but I think everybody knows that there were some negative things about Ubisoft, and I do not share almost all of those opinions. I really don't, and I'm biased. But if you look at the play hours that I have in Ubisoft catalog games, not just AC, Far Cry, Ghost Recon Wildlands, I played the bejesus out of that with friends, and Rayman, and nobody pointed a gun at my head and now you're going to play Ubisoft games, I mean, I could have done a lot of other things in those hours. I really enjoyed all of that, and everywhere I went, it doesn't matter whether it was in Germany or in Shanghai or in Paris or LA, everybody from Ubisoft, everybody from the coffee lady to Mr. Guimont himself, everybody was always nice. Everybody was always giving it their all. So I really get frustrated with all the Ubi hate. So I hate that. So no, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. So long story short, what's going to happen with Ubisoft? I don't know. Is there going to be another Assassin's Creed? I don't know. Is it hard to say goodbye to that adventure? Yeah, duh. I mean, we've done some crazy things. If that's going to stop, if that's going to fall apart, it's going to be like a hole that I'm going to lie into. You can put some sand over me because it's crazy. So I said, if maybe this was it, I don't know. But then I'm going to go out with my favorite one. I've always said after, when I'm a little bit older, I'm going to do Ezio Revelations version. That's going to be, then I'm done.
Yes, please.
I said I'm going to get my favorite one and I knew the rumors, very strong rumors, not just the ones that I read online. And I was like, I'm going to do Edward again, put all my skill into it, redo it. And I've done some other costumes twice or 3 times in the past. And it's always funny to see how so many years of experience change how you approach a project and the level that it reaches. It's just, I'm talking very long. Sorry.
I know you do.
It's very different, and so I really enjoy that. And we went all out. I was like, you're going to do this or you're not going to do this. So we did the stupid shark head thing underwater with Marije, photographer, who goes into the water with a shark head. And I had friends with me for safety assist, because you can drown, you can swim very well. If you're gonna swim in Black Flag, know that it's it's difficult. So it's so we have 2 divers there, and thank you, Natalie and Emil. So it was a great experience, and that was not for Ubisoft, but I was like, I want to do this. And I want to, and obviously, the entire world saw it because all the YouTubers were like, "Oh, it's gonna happen because Rick Boer is blah."
And collaborating with Ubisoft.
Oh, you see, that's what happens.
When you're enthusiastic.
So it's been, but it was my project, and then I was just very fortunate, and I hoped that it would happen.
It would be fun.
That eventually, when it was put out, I think we have to thank Juliette from Ubisoft big time for getting us on board, and
after Paris it really started.
Yeah. So crazy.
I wanted to know how you guys felt and what the process was to being invited to San Francisco. I was invited to a preview event in the UK. That was amazing for me. I felt like all my hard work had worked to this point. And it was such a great experience. So I want to know what emotions you guys were going through, how it felt, and what the entire thing just felt like.
It was so boring. No.
I think it was awesome. Yeah, it was a big roller coaster of emotions. You've done such things way more often than I have, and for me it really was my first time. And to just go to San Francisco for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, to meet Matt Ryan, to be able to work with him, maybe even play the game a little bit if it would be possible. But to go there, I started when I was like 13 or something with Black Flag. It was just a full circle moment, and I've never been outside of Europe, so to go to America, that was just a great experience. I was like a golden retriever for a week. Everything was fun, everything was cool. It was absolutely crazy. And then to do that with you, of course, and even explore the city a little bit, just not only do content-related stuff, but really do a trip together. Yeah. That was amazing. I hated the flight, every single minute of it, but the rest was amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. A bit unreal, surreal. And like I said, it's almost the same answer, so I'm going to keep it short this time. About what the hell? I mean, 2013, hey Rick, 13 years later, this and that's going to happen. Yeah, right. And it happened, and it was crazy. And again, yes, we've been doing it for a long time, traveling for these kinds of things, but it doesn't get normal. And you just appreciate being able to do that. And it's just as crazy as it was the first time, It's just like, how? What? I mean, you go to San Francisco because of this, because of and for me it's just
because of this little guy.
Yeah, it's just sheets, textile, paper, vinyl, plastic, and then you sew that together and you smack some paint on it, and the paint that's just bought in my local shop down. It's yeah, and then you go to San Francisco, and then there's Matt Ryan. And he's wearing. Then he's going to wear your costume, and.
But even like I knew we were going to meet Matt Ryan, but for me, it's a surprise because I'm always filming when he's doing stuff to just capture something, and then all of a sudden Paul is there, creative director, Assassin's Creed. Like, I saw you on the video, on the release video, and then Richard was there. I also saw you on the video, so that was also a surprise. But just to have those meeting the people of Ubisoft, and even they are just maybe even bigger nerds than I am when it comes to that game, and they want to know your opinion and how it was, and they come come and talk to you.
They didn't just even want to know our opinion. They were also concerned about our well-being. Are you okay? Are you fine?
Yeah.
Are you it was crazy.
Yeah, and if it could be the developer or Mackenzie who does the event management, but everybody was so super nice and everybody was just so into the whole setting that was
big
very
thank
cool.
you to Alison.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was crazy.
Yeah,
I get that because I went to a Ubisoft UK studio and my partner came with me. She did the driving. He doesn't play video games, but she was allowed to come and sit with me while I played. And she was taking my notes and stuff. It was like turning behind me, like, "Oh, can you just write this down for me? Can you just do this?" But everybody around us was like, they were talking to her specifically, and they were like, "Are you okay? Do you need a drink? How's it been just sitting there watching him play?" All these different. So I 100% agree that everybody I've ever met from Ubisoft have been so lovely, so nice, and so considerate of our time and how we're doing and stuff. So it's good to see that that's across the entire company, across different countries as well.
And like for 15 years, it's not a fluke.
Yeah, no, it's not just random either.
No.
So did you guys get to play the game? You did.
Yes.
What
Big
did
surprise.
you think about it?
Cool. Well, I absolutely, I'm in love with Black Flag because of the way it looks, and to have this upgrade, but like even the colors, I'm very enthusiastic about the colors.
Yeah.
But it when I started, it was like I'm playing Black Flag when I felt 14 again, and it's very difficult to get that feeling. And I think every man my age still tries to get that Christmas boy feeling when you're like
Especially
10.
collectors.
And that's exactly the feeling I got. I was 14 back in my room playing the game, and it plays so well. The combat was cool. I didn't get far enough to do the boat ship. Sorry, my God, yeah. To do the ship, I'm sorry to get on the ship, but the fighting, it was just it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible.
I remember that experience too from the original, because Assassin's Creed 3, I really love that because of its historical setting. That was pretty cool. I've done 2 minors in history, and some of those, like the Boston Tea Party and stuff, and you go there. So that was so cool to experience, and that final cannon shot at in front of the port of Boston, and everything was in there. So I thought it was really cool, but it was very gritty. Even its color palette was very dark. Yeah. And Connor's story is actually very tragic. And then, the colors, and it starts with this ship battle, and Edward washes on the beach, and then the little crabs and the colors, and then the first thing he says is something along the lines of, "Was it good for you too?" And then he looks at Duncan Walpole. I was like, okay, this is a bit of a different approach. And from there, the color, again, the music, little crabs on the beach, water, that was the original, And then Resynced, I said it to Paul at that thing, the event. It's like, this is like how I've got Black Flag in my mind, but it never looked like this, but it does now. So there was a post on one of the Ubi channels where Edward was just walking, and I put a comment under it like, okay, I'm just gonna do that for hours. I'm just gonna walk around and watch the footprints in the sand and see the waves come crashing in, and look at the palms, they're blowing, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and I don't know. The little things that I noticed in the trailer was, for instance, when the shark comes at Edward and he dodges it, was his little lock of hair waving in the water. That kind of thing. The fishies and stuff like that. There's so much attention to detail and love in there, and it's gonna get some extra content too. And so I think it's gonna be the best possible version of this game. And people are gonna bash it and hate it because that's just really cool to do. Just nitpick it, dissect it, and
make for good content.
Show your hate, and start pouring piss over it, because that's what the internet is for. But take this from a guy who absolutely loves the Star Wars Special Edition. Yes, I will go on record to say that, because it looks phenomenally better than the original. There, I said it. And the Special Edition from Star Wars allows it to remain so that my kids can enjoy it too, because they're not going to sit through the 77 cut theatrical cut.
Yeah, no,
so
no.
yeah, and if you don't like that, I get it. It's your childhood. It's your, you know, it's kind of sacred. Ocarina of Time is my all-time favorite game. Nothing's gonna beat it. But to be fair, it looks like absolute crap when you boot it up right now.
Yeah.
It's the nostalgic factor that makes it so good. And you notice that with everything, with every generation, it's not so much the quality of the product, the movie or the game, it's when you experience it.
Yeah.
That's what kids also record. You know, there's so many kids, and I'm a teacher, so I see quite a few of them, and who have seen and love Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. There's a Jurassic Park.
That's crazy.
And I will die from that. You know, I was like, are you bloody crazy? And I remember when I started feeling really old. And that was years ago. And then one of them said, "Hey, have you played the old Mario game?" I was like, "Yeah." Well, you mean Mario 64? Mario 64? No, I meant Mario Galaxy. I was like, old. That's you know. So but it depends on when these kids kind of roll into this. But it's so. Another topic, the Halo remake, and people were bashing it because the models are from Halo Infinite, and it looks terrible. I saw the trailer and I nearly died. I was like, holy shit, that looks so amazing. Yeah. And we play Halo with the kids and stuff, and I cannot wait to do Halo campaign Evolve with my kids again. And so, I don't know, it's Resynced it looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, and I think they've made some quality of life improvements on gameplay aspects, and I think I'm gonna replay it the moment I finish it. Just go right back in.
I'm gonna 100% complete everything, and I said to Paul, I think Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft is now setting the bar for other companies. If they're gonna do call it a rework or remaster, whatever, they have to do it like this. They set the bar for something so good at the moment. I think this is how they should do a remake. Yeah,
and I think a lot of people talk about like the Resident Evil games, the remakes, but they're not so much remakes, they are completely different games. I love them. I love the originals, I love the remakes too, but it's not a remake in the sense of it's still the original. Resident Evil 2 and 3, the newer versions are completely different games in gameplay, in setting, level design, everything. It's awesome. It's more or less the same story, but it's completely different. And this approach, I think it really saves what the original was. And then puts this coat of awesomeness over it on every aspect: the visuals, the sound, the cutscenes, the everything. I already love it, and I only played for 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, same, and me too. About 20 minutes or something, and then all the stuff that they're what I'm not gonna talk about, what they're gonna add. That's just that's gonna be insane. I can't wait to start.
So I'm going to upset both of you right now. I didn't like the original.
Okay, well, I'll see you next time.
Goodbye. See you later. Yep.
But so for me, I love Pirates. I love Assassin's Creed.
So what went wrong?
It just didn't gel properly for me. But that being said, when I played Resynced, I absolutely fell in love with Resynced, and I was actually seeing the game how people saw Black Flag back in 2013. I felt this this level of wonder. It looks fantastic. It plays really well. I got a chance to play it for about 3 hours, and one of the guys came up to me and tapped me on the shoulder, and he was like, "You're doing the free roam, which is great, and you're enjoying yourself, but you need to go do the other missions, because you're going to miss everything, and you're not going to see everything that we want you to see." And I could have easily, we only got an hour roughly to do free roam, but I could have easily have done 3 hours just on the free roam, and I was just pulled in so much, and I could have easily have just sat there and kept playing. So I now see why people like Black Flag so much. And like you said,
It took him only 13 years.
Yeah,
It took him only 13 years, you know, that's, yeah.
But it's like it's like you said, when people look at Resynced, that in their mind, that's how Black Flag looks.
Yeah.
Because I've been replaying Black Flag and I've been streaming it and stuff. And people come in and go, "Oh, is this Resynced?" It doesn't look the same. It looks completely different, but in people's minds, that's how they think it looks. So I'm thoroughly excited for when it comes out. So much so that I've pre-ordered the collector's edition.
Cool.
Which is nothing I've ever done before. This will be my first ever collector's edition.
Best one to start with, I think.
Yeah. So I'm thoroughly excited for it. My next question to you is, what was it like, Matt Ryan, wearing your cosplay, and what was it like getting pictures with him, chatting with him? What was that like?
If you do that, I think I have to charge the phone before it.
What's the battery now?
Do your thing. I'm gonna fix it, and we'll see.
We need some juice.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when we got the call to go to San Francisco to go to the press event, and that Matt Ryan was going to be there, it was 3 days, and he was going to be there on the middle day. I think it was the Wednesday. And so the first day I was gonna wear the costume and then do some things and have people take pictures, you know. And then the Wednesday would be the Matt Ryan day, and then Thursday we would also do some pictures and stuff. And then on the first day, we were walking around there. It was really kind of chill, you know. It was really kind of relaxed and easygoing, and you know, there was mostly press, and that's a little bit different from influencers, because you know, they're there to cover the game. You're so close now.
Yeah, I have to take out the mic because I can't charge it otherwise.
Oh.
So, can you hear us properly?
I can still hear you.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So, and then I was talking to the creative director, Paul Fu, and about Black Flag, about Ubisoft, about all, and it was very nice chat. And then suddenly he interjected, "I think there's somebody there who wants to meet you." And I turned around, and that was Matt Ryan.
Oh my
and
God.
he came up to me, and he was like, with that beautiful voice of his, and he said like, "Oh mate, you look more like me than I do." And and that was crazy. And he was an absolute joy to talk to. He's so enthusiastic, and it was just all around awesome. And we already got. We asked him to sign these. We brought these, and
he got to sign them. Oh, that's amazing.
So he signed one for Gil, and he signed one for me, and we also gave him one, so he could in a little frame and stuff, so we could take it home with him. I don't know if he did that. It was such a weird experience to I don't know. It's when you hear somebody talk, and it's one of your favorite game characters or movie heroes or whatever, and then that person is standing in front of you. That's just crazy. But what was even crazier is that we got to work with him. You know, like because I said, like, do you have a few minutes of your time so we can prepare the costume wearing part? You know, because it's a little bit different, and he was also kind of nervous about it.
Yeah,
and,
we had to find a way in what we were going to do that day.
And he was also, and he was like, "That's never going to fit," because I think I'm a head taller.
Yeah, we were a bit taller.
Yeah, so and he was like, "Never going to fit," and I was like, "Well, I think if the skirt fits, it's going to be fine, because I made it in such a way that it all hangs on itself. You know, all the stitches, all the belts, it's all." Because I wanted to swim with a shark, and you don't want the sashes to lower or whatever. Everything is stuck where it is and where it needs to be. And then the next day, he came over and was the day where he was going to go into costume, and he was really very nervous about it. He wasn't sure what it was going to be. Was it going to be ridiculous? Was it going to be and then at some point he wanted to go see what it was looking like halfway through the changing process, and I said like no, you can't do that, because you're gonna need to see the full thing. That's you get an honest view of what you look like in that costume. And I was really nervous. I was like, oh man, maybe he's gonna pull the plug, and then he has that right.
It was nerve-wracking.
It was nerve-wracking. And then we went to the bathroom. There was one person from Ubisoft who went with us, and because he wanted to see himself in the mirror, and he was fully dressed with it. And he came into the bathroom, and it was like the kitchen sink and the mirror, and he was like putting his hands on it, and then looking like that. And I was like, oh shit, he's gonna say, no, I'm not gonna do this. And then he just, oh my god, mate, thank you, mate. And then he hugged me, and he was like, this is unbelievable. And
Oh wow.
I've been doing this character for so long, and I've never looked like this, and it's, oh, thank you. And he was hugging, I was like, okay.
And with that voice.
So I was like, yeah, we got it. That was good. And then we went in, and we actually put a little wall. I mean, there was not a studio, there was nothing, and like that. So we put some chairs aside, and again, everybody from Ubisoft was assisting, helping.
Yeah.
Are you okay? I put literally tape on the floor where Matt could put his feet, and we tested it. Gil said stand there, and he did the lights and everything. So that when he came in, I was like, we need to do this as efficiently as possible, because I don't think it's going to wear for very long. So we had some goals of our own, and we weren't sure if that was going to align with what Ubisoft wanted from it in terms of content that was to be created. And they endorsed everything, and they were enthusiastic about it. And we wanted to have at least one cool picture of Matt Ryan in the costume.
Yep.
And we wanted to do the cosplay transition. Where he's in his regular clothes, and then he does his hand on the thing, and then he's in full gear. And we got those out. That was amazing. And I'm glad that Gil took the picture, because the content that was being created was mostly focused on social media from Ubisoft themselves. And I'm glad we captured him, Matt Ryan, in Edward Kenway costume on a 4K. Absolutely incredibly epic picture, and that's the one that has been shared recently, where he's holding the gun. It was crazy, Also, like, okay, so he was sitting here, but the hoods again. If you see these assassin guys like put on and off their hoods, like Ezio, and then he's like this really sexy guy when he puts the hood off. It's bull. You're sweaty, your hair goes messy. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And so with every single shot, and then Matt's hair would like come in front of me, and I was standing. I was like, oh, do you require some help? Yeah, can you put my hair in? Okay, can I touch you? Yeah, sure. So I was doing Matt Ryan's hair, so I'm in behind the hood and stuff, and it was just crazy. And we got some stuff done, and then he came with the ideas of, no, I want to sit down.
Yeah. He really got into it. That was the fun part, because at some point he really got into it, and we're like, okay, I think we have it. And he was like, no, we can do it like sitting down, and I can hold the guns, and I can look at the cameras. Like, he was really getting into the shoot, and that was really awesome.
Yeah, and then he went out into the room with the influencers and stuff, and then I got a little bit emotional. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay, it was a success. It was good. It was Matt Ryan loved it, liked it. I mean, he says it in a few videos, like, I've never looked like this. And obviously that was also for the video, but I saw that first genuine response. That was not acting. That was not for public appearances or whatever you want to call it. I saw Matt Ryan's raw response to him for the first time in his life, looking like one of the characters that I think defined his career too. I think we can say that.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he's done other amazing things, and he's been a stage actor for decades. So he's extremely talented. But I think for the Assassin's Creed gaming industry, whatever moviegoers, I think that for nerd world, he is Edward Kenway, and like you say, he's done the motion capture. with the wetsuit kind of thing and the dots on his head and stuff. But I said wearing this and looking like this, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, that was a very
and the reaction of the public was because you were watching while he was going out, and the difficult thing for me is I have to film it, but I also want to be in the moment. That's always a bit difficult. But like the second he stepped out, everybody was gaming or getting food or whatever. We're like, holy what? And like in 5 seconds or so, the whole room was surrounded. It was crazy. It was just absurd to see him do like that, and that we were able to make the pictures, and for me to see that, to get that content uploaded in the Ubisoft creator program, to see that sent to the press, our content was like, okay, wow, this is the cherry on top of the cake.
We got it.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So it was a dream come true, a dream that I never knew I had, because I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
13 years ago, I wouldn't have believed this.
No, but also in, okay, Black Flag might be coming out. Let's do the costume. Let's do some shoots. Let's do some pictures. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's gonna be a shadow drop in February. They're just gonna put it online. Oh, so no marketing. So okay, then that's it. No, it's postponed. It's gonna be the main focus for this. Oh, it's gonna be the main focus for this. Okay, let's go. And crazy. So it's been.
Behind the scene, it was also a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Okay, this, no, this, no.
Yeah. And then yes, no, crazy stuff. Yeah.
It was obviously, it was crazy to see those pictures. Like when he stood there and he puts his hand up to the screen and then pulls his hand away, like for somebody watching that, which was myself and everyone at the ones who came before and all people over social media, when he pulled his hand away, you stop seeing Matt Ryan. Like it's not Matt Ryan anymore. It's Edward Kenway. And I think, as you said, this is his defining character from his career. Yes, people remember him from Constantine and other stuff, but if you speak to people, especially gamers, it's Edward. That's who he's known for. So for him to get that chance and for you guys to see that raw emotion from seeing himself for the very first time as Edward is amazing. And it must be amazing for you guys that he felt so comfortable in your cosplay and with you guys.
He said, and I was like, and I don't want to bash on others, and he doesn't want to, because he loves the community, he loves everybody takes the effort and stuff, and cosplay has many different levels. You have people doing like these extreme things. You have people, well, I'm just going to buy like an outfit,
outfit,
and enjoy, I'm Temu Edward, and and enjoy the convention or whatever. Fine, but then. It's weird to hear Matt Ryan say anything to you while wearing Edward, your own costume, with blood, sweat, and tears, and it's even weirder to thank you, Rick. You can you see that? Can you see like Edward Kenway, and then he's just talking to you with that voice because that's his voice.
That's his voice, yeah.
And then that's crazy. And then he said, I've seen so many of these costumes, but I was only going to wear one if it was absolutely bloody perfect. And I was like, oh, thank you. Oh, no, that's yeah. So yeah, that was crazy. Absolutely.
That is the fact that he said to you he was only going to wear one costume and it had to look perfect. I suppose that's for you is confirmation on the amount of work that you put into these costumes. They're not just, like you said, they're not just Temu things. They're actually a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of work goes into making this. And the fact that he chose to wear your costume is amazing.
Yeah,
I
appreciate that. Yeah.
When I saw that he was wearing it and I saw that it was your cosplay, I was so happy for you as as I'd spoken to you 8 months prior, it was amazing to see that you were getting this recognition and this love from him as well. So that was really good. I have a couple of questions from a team member at the ones who came before. He's called Mr. Tom. And he wants to know that when you're working on Assassin's Creed Cosplay, what matters more to you? Is it screen accuracy or is it the feeling of the character?
Could you define feeling of the character a bit? Well,
I'm not sure. So is it the question reads how I've said it, but I'm assuming it's more of it. Does the way, for instance, Edward look on camera, or is it more of a feeling of what we know Edward to be? So you want him to carry himself a certain way, or is it more screen accurate that you're searching for?
I think they're, for me at least, they're always one and the same.
Okay.
Because to be fair, and I'm going to talk in examples because that makes it easier for me to express what I mean with it. I'm a guy who paints all the scratches on the Boba Fett costume, like every single detail, and that's important. But it's not just that. I had a talk with the original actor, and in the Star Wars community, this is well-known fact. There's a scene in Empire Strikes Back where Boa's on the Star Destroyer bridge, and Darth Vader starts talking to all the bounty hunters, and he's standing there with the blaster, and he's almost having his arms crossed like that. And this bucket is always a bit up, and it's and you can't see shit in those things. And so you have this T visor, which is slightly above your eyes actually, and then there's this section there. So you kind of look sideways, but you're very conscious of having your head high because that's how the character looks. And sometimes you see people who have these beautiful costumes, and then they're like, hey, "Where am I going?" And it's not then the portrayal. It's one package. And I remember talking to Mr. Bullock, the late Mr. Bullock, unfortunately, but and he was standing there and he was like, "Yeah, the gun was it was a real Webley & Scott's #1 Mark I flare gun, so it was really heavy and it could shoot blanks. It shoots at Mark Hamill in one shot, and most of those guns in the original trilogy were real weapons modded a bit, so they could fire blanks, which is cool for the effects." And he's standing there and he was like, "Yeah, the shot took forever, and that gun was so bloody heavy." So that pose that he has, and every Boba Fett cosplay, "Oh, it's such a cool pose, and it looks so Clint Eastwood casual," but it was just him standing there holding the bloody thing that was too heavy. And but you carry those things over when you wear these costumes. And fortunately, with Assassin's Creed, especially the older generations, most of them kind of use the same animations, like the high profile moves, low profile moves. I remember standing on conventions when we were doing the goodie hunts and stuff, and you switch between those poses. So you would just stand in low profile and doing the head movements and stuff, and then you go to high profile, and it just works when you get those movements right. But in terms of accuracy, you cannot get them 100% accurate, never, because they are game characters. And I was actually talking to the guys from Resynced at the event, and I was like, "Oh, great, you still got the peg wrong on the belt. That's really accuracy. You really went for the original look." And they were like, "Peg?" Yeah, I said, look, here's my watch. And if everybody's having a watch, look at where the peg points. The peg is pointing this side, and the other side of the belt is opposite. You see that? So the loose flap is on the opposite side where the peg points. Now look at every single picture from Edward Kennedy, and he has this huge ass buckle here, and the peg points towards the flap thing.
Oh, really?
But if that is the case, then it slips loose. It doesn't hold. Oh. So every single belt up until Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the Jacob's boot thing is, and he has like 12 buckles on the entire thing. All the pegs are pointing the wrong way. So you can look at my costume, and the peg on the big thing is pointing towards the flap thingy. It's the wrong way, and I made that so that it is accurate to the character. But sometimes I add little belts or connection points, or because more importantly, even more importantly, accuracy is really something you cling to. But what is far more important is a snug fit.
Yeah.
The thing needs to work with your body. And when you're wearing it, you need to be aware from your pinky to your toe to the top of your head. Where do you keep all your parts and things, and how does that translate to wearing the costume? And that's what I warned Matt Ryan about too, is that when you wear this, know that it's constricting. You know, when he was performing as Edward, he had a spandex suit. So when he's doing a bar fight, he's just sitting in the spandex suit and he's doing all these things. Look what I do now. I'm going to put this glass and I'm going to put it down here. You can't do that with the costume on because there's the blades and the leather.
Oh, it's all clunky and.
Yeah, so it's very different from the game model, and that is something that you have to be aware of. So it's not one or the other. It's the whole package, and especially when you're hired to do promotional work. Yeah. I always say that it's like being Mickey in Disneyland. You know, it's just a guy sweating and dancing around in a bloody hot costume, but he's dancing and waving all the time because he's the moving poster and doing PR for the company at that point. So when I'm hired to do convention work, as I consider myself to be the moving poster for that product that they're working on, and it's all the same. So it's not all accuracy or how did you describe it?
The feeling of the character.
I think the feeling of the character is helped by the accuracy of the costume, but it requires I wouldn't say acting.
A little bit of acting, but the feeling for you is because you do revisit some of the points when you're done, because we've done a lot of shoots for Edward. But how many times this guy has done the hood again, then we did a shoot, and he texts me again, I made a new hood for Edward. Brother, this is the 4th time you made a new hood for Edward, because it didn't move right or didn't sit right. So every time you do try and get the feel of the character to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. The next question he asked, and I feel like we've kind of touched on this already, but what made each of you fall in love with Assassin's Creed in the first place, and has that feeling changed over time?
I don't think the feeling for me has changed. I think it really is the awesome storytelling they did combined with the music. For me, is what gets it all together. I think they really got it right. I'm gonna jump back to Ezio. Is that I really got to make a bond with the character over the 3 games, and with Desmond in all the sagas. I think they really did a good job of connecting the person playing it with the character, and I think that's what made me fall in love. And then of course that you can visit all the historical places, and I think that's for me what Assassin's Creed is really awesome for me.
Yeah, that's for me the same. I love good stories. You know, so it's one of my other favorite franchises, Metal Gear Solid, and Mr. Kojima is known for putting cutscenes of 45 minutes or longer into a game, and some gamers are like, played Metal Gear Solid, do you like the story? I don't know, I pressed through the cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
What are you? Wow. So it's a story that really matters, and that was good in most of them, and later on, Assassin's Creed became something completely different for me, and not just me, but for my entire family, because you know, it's quite an investment in our family when you start working on these things. They take up to 300 hours to make, and so it's a commitment. And I discuss it with my wife. Can we do this now? Is it a thing? Is it you know, my parents or my in-laws, they take care of the kids sometimes when I have a deadline, so that I can. It's work. It's a lot of work. And then cherry on the cake, you get to travel and do these amazing things. And so Assassin's Creed has literally, you know, been part of my life in such an insane way. We were able to get the mortgage for the house. We came short, just a little amount of money. And RBF Productions now had that back in 2015 in income. And that finalized the deal on the mortgage. And that made sure that we got a little bit bigger house than we had, and we had 2 kids, and we said we want a 3rd one, but only if he has a room of his own. So literally my son exists because we could it's such a crazy world. So Assassin's Creed, no, it's not just a game. It's an integral part of where I stand now as a creative person, and it's crazy, and therefore I can give an honest opinion on the games because they are already epic to me before the games even come out. When I open a collector's edition and I get the statue thingy out or whatever, I can almost hear the achievement ping. It's like boom, and done. Another successful season. Look at what we've done. Look at what we've created. And then you're just proud. And it's crazy. It's been crazy, absolutely bonkers what happened to me and my family. You meet these amazing people, and you go to amazing places, and then you push your creative boundary. And do I like Assassin's Creed? No, and I think every nerd, every fan has that. You're connected to it. It's like a part of you, but it's literally a part of my existence. I wouldn't be where I am today without Assassin's Creed, apart from what the games are, or that's how much it means to me. So when I had already given up about it, and we were told we were going to San Francisco, I was like, yeah, I need to kind of record this, So I got this thing on, which is a tattoo from Edward. We were awake for 25
hours. 25.
Oh, when he started, but it was like, this isn't just a game character. This is it's my history.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part. That's why I have these costumes now here too, because it's such an integral part of your life and of my life. You started with costumes. I started with the stupid PVC figures and the collector's edition. And I'm very fortunate that my parents supported me in my weird little hobby, and that the company that I work for allows me to store all these crazy things here, because Assassin's Creed is the reason why I've met you, why I went to San Francisco, and why I started my own company. That wouldn't have been possible without the game. To have a game to have such an impact on real life things is just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I started doing content creation like 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago, flicking between random games that I thought people would want to watch and see, and it just never really clicked. And then for me, Shadows was about to release. I hadn't played Assassin's Creed for a couple of years, so I decided to play Mirage. And then from just playing Mirage, I'm now like, I host the Assassin's Creed podcast. I've been able to meet wonderful people like yourself, and so many other creators in the space. Get to go to play the games and stuff, and I wouldn't be here in this house with my partner, and if it wasn't for Assassin's Creed as well. So there is so many it's not just a game at this point. It's an integral part of my life and what we do. I'm always looking for stuff content wise. I like playing the games, but I like to step out of the boundaries sometimes on what we can do. So you saw the me sat on the cliff edge, and my partner absolutely hated that, but she's prepared to. She's prepared for me to go to. She'll take me to wherever we need to go, if it's content related and what we can do to make this better. So for me, without Assassin's Creed, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's not just a video game at this point.
Exactly.
The next question is, if you got a chance, and this is for both of you, if you got a chance to design an original Assassin's Creed outfit for an Assassin's Creed mainline game, what would it be?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
My brother from another mother, Sander, has been playing in the Willem van Oranje musical, and he's like that is actually after the Habsburger Empire falls apart and you get King Philip's in Spain, and you get the 80 Years War in the Netherlands, that's a very, very interesting historical setting.
Yeah.
And not, to devalue Assassin's Creed 2, but the whole thing, what happened in Italy, in Renaissance Italy, they had left a mark on art and literature and all these kinds of things. But on the political world stage, it was like these little provinces waging war on one another. There was no cohesion. But higher up in Europe, you have these incredible things that have major consequences in Europe, but also in the New World and stuff. And that would be my go-to, and so I would go to the Netherlands, and not just because I'm from it, but it's crazy. You would have like Amsterdam, The Hague, Haarlem. You could even introduce the naval combat with the East Indian Trading Company. You have slavery, which is a touchy subject, but I think it would make for some very interesting storytelling. And you could go to the New World. You could go to Spain. You could go to Portugal. You could go anywhere with that. So you could make like this kind of a blend between Unity, Syndicate, Black Flag, and then have a political scheme behind it. You should look up some of the Dutch, like the murder on the Broeders de Wit. It's horrifying, and I can just it's like. I can see you sneaking around in the public while that is happening, or something, or it's that's what for me was the power of Assassin's Creed, to be present at these historical moments in one way or another, and it didn't always have to be like you're the one causing it, but you were there, you were a witness. I remember, I think the old marketing slogan for Assassin's Creed was "History is our playground," and that always stuck with me. And I've loved the RPG games. I've loved them, every single one of them. But some of the historical context didn't resonate all that much with me. I think Odyssey, for instance, it has some things, but it's very, I don't know. It's not the same as like Assassin's Creed 3 on the.
I agree. Yeah.
Popping by, and the same goes for the others. For instance, what I loved, I think my favorite part from Assassin's Creed Origins is the assassination on Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
And not that I like killing things, which is weird because the series is called Assassin's Creed, but it's to be at that historical moment and to be a part of that. That's what really got me enthusiastic about Assassin's Creed. And Unity and Syndicate also have these crazy moments where you're like, that's Robespierre, that's Napoleon, that's hey, Charles Darwin, hello. It's crazy. And I think that the Netherlands and the 80 Years War, Spanish War of Succession, that kind of stuff, it's a very interesting period. And I think Hexe is going to tap into that era, if the rumors are true, because it's during the Habsburger Empire, which is like, the Catholicism is the only way to pursue a religion in that era, which results, like in the Netherlands later on in the Spanish Inquisition, where the Protestants and Calvin's followers are literally burned, murdered, slaughtered, whatever. It's a lot. And I think Hexe is set in the same era, but in a different part, like in Austria, I think, which also has a lot going on. Again, if the rumors are true, this is not confidential. It's a guess.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting period, and I would take that same period because it would also tie. You can use Ezio because he was alive during that period in Italy, and you can. He doesn't have to be in every game. It's like you don't need Wolverine in every Marvel movie, but you can glue things together. You can make things seep through so that even the older ones, if you start playing them, it's like, hey, that's connected. I like the statue from Bayek's wife.
Aya.
Yeah, I know she's Aya, but she Minerva. No, not Minerva. She gets a different name.
Amanet.
And obviously it's a retcon.
Yeah.
Obviously. I don't care. When I now play AC2 and I come across that tomb, I was like, Yeah, that's cool. You know, so it's a little nitpick. You don't have to see anything in it. You don't have to understand it, but if you do, it just gives this little extra layer. So I think it would tie that up to it too. But that's where I would go. Costume-wise, city-wise, story-wise, history-wise, gameplay-wise.
Yeah, I can't really let Ezio go all too well after all these years. So I think I talked to you about it a few days ago. But I would like what they're gonna do, like with the new Witcher 4, that they're gonna take Ciri as the main protagonist. I would like such an idea, but then with Claudia. I think that would be very cool. And you can also have this very badass, cool female protagonist because she's already in the Brotherhood. Ezio trained her, but after that, it kind of went. Like I didn't hear much about it. Maybe there's strips or comics or other stories that I didn't dive into. But I think that would be something I would really like. And to not like have Ezio back in every sequence and in everything. Maybe just at the end, maybe just somewhere, just a sneak hint, maybe just his voice that he wrote a letter to her, just something. I mean, we don't have to go back to Italy because you've seen enough of Italy, I think. But I like Italy. I mean, imagine playing AC2 in Unreal Engine 5 or Unreal Engine 6.
Yeah, that would be
Phenomenal. But I would love to go with Claudia Auditore, and then costume-wise, I think I will look at you because that would be you're better at that than me.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
If I could make a costume, it would be for an era that I really enjoy and I think would make a great Assassin's Creed game. Is the first war of independence for Scotland and England. I think having a Scottish assassin would work really well. They've got some great historical characters of the time period that would work really well. It'd be 1295 or something like that. So it would be a good timeline to be. I think outfit wise, it would go really well. Hooded characters and cloak and dagger and stuff. That for me is, if I could help design something, that would be what it would be. I have a few worries for Resynced. I'm wondering what you guys are looking forward to, and if there's anything that you're worried about with Resynced.
No, not so much worry, because we were really blown away by what we've seen, what we've played. I don't really have a lot of worries. I did see some new cutscenes that I don't think were motion captured, and they were a little bit different from the others. I don't know if that's a thing to really worry about, especially if it's a very small part of such a huge, big game. And I also know that there's a lot of new cutscenes that are motion captured. So I don't know. That would be the only thing, maybe. And I'm interested to see. I know it works because they cut the Office thing.
Yeah, which is my preference, but I know many people didn't like that.
No, and I can understand that you were dragged out. But the thing is, there was a very important story aspect where the Sage. If you haven't played it, spoiler. Yeah. You know, it's the janitor guy who set you on the missions in the Office is actually Bartholomew Roberts, reborn kind of, and it has an impact on the release of one of the Isu into the modern day world, and that was where it was building up to, even with Edward's story. You know, and with the observatory and the artifacts that can make you spy on everybody in the world, Obsturgo wanted that, blah 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 blah, that whole kind of thing. So I think that's gonna fall flat. The whole thing about the Sage, if there's no consequence in a modern day story. So, but on the other hand, the book, I read the book and I loved it, and that has no modern day either, and it didn't have modern day back in 2013. So it works, and it works well. So maybe it's not a worry that is warranted, but I'm curious to see how that will
Yeah, or how they will write it.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
I read the book and the book was amazing. And for me, I don't think I really have worries. I know somebody posted a video and I posted a comment on which I got really bashed, but it was like, oh my god, it's gonna be an RPG because you have to hack and slash on the animals. They don't die in one go with your hidden blade. Yeah, well, it wouldn't be realistic to put your sword to a cougar and it would just die. That's not how it works for me. That if you call that RPG, you should really go play something else or make a negative Nancy channel. But for me, I don't think there's gonna be. No, I don't think there's something. I'm not.
No, and about that too, you know, the combat with the animals, and I was like, it wasn't good when it was a QC thing. Yeah, people didn't like that. Now it's combat, people don't like that either.
Yeah.
I've got some news, and I hope it's not a shocker, but don't tell anyone. It's a game. It's not like
yeah. Like, get over it.
Yeah. So it's no real more curiosity.
Yeah.
And not in all that much of a negative. Like I said, the whole thing about the Sage, I'm just curious how that will work. I wanted to replay the original, but I didn't.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I don't want to. I know it. But it's been years, and I didn't. Everything that I forgot, I want to be surprised in Resynced, literally. So I don't remember everything, and I want to be surprised again when I replay Resynced. So I didn't look up everything. So maybe, like I said, the whole Sage thing, it works on its own. I don't know. In the end, I don't really care because I know that I'm going to love the bejesus out of this game. So
yeah.
I
actually have. So I've been talking about what my favorite AC games are and stuff for a while, and I actually have Resynced, even though I only played for like 3 hours. I have Resynced sitting at number 3, behind AC2 and Brotherhood. So I am thoroughly looking forward to this game, and I'm gonna jump into it 100%, and I'm gonna just keep playing it. And like you said, I'm probably just going to end up walking around everywhere and just watching my footprints in the sand. Actually, while I was playing the game, there was a bit where I was on an island and there was like a little fort bit and it had cannonballs on the floor. And I spent like a good 5 minutes kicking these cannonballs around just because I was like, oh my God, this is great. I can actually kick the cannonballs and they move. And so I'm thoroughly looking forward to this. I want to know how you guys are feeling about new story missions for Blackbeard in particular. So we know from the recent deep dive that he's getting 8 new missions. That Darby was a consultant on the narrative. They're adding new cutscenes. The end game chapter is going to be called A World Without Gold. So how do you guys feel about this? Are you looking forward to this? Do you like Blackbeard as a character? Have you ever done Blackbeard cosplay?
Of my are working on it, and we hope to get a shoot done soon. So, and I've done some weathering work on it, and I've done the belt setup for it. So it's on the Insta. We only got one post about it now, I think, but
that will be a very cool poster image.
Yeah. So we've got some ideas for that, and we already worked out some storyboards, and so looking forward to that. So Blackbeard. I mean, I think everybody remembers that first CG trailer. All right, lads, I'll give you Blackbeard's honest opinion. So it's that thing, and that was pretty cool. I also liked how he scares the shit out of Steve Maanen, and then Edward is like, "Oh yeah, it works." Of course, it's that kind of thing. He was great, and I like the character. And the thing is, there's going to be some new things, and from what we gathered from the team, everybody loved Black Flag. It wasn't like Jurassic Park 3, where the new director said, "I'm going to do better. I'm going to kill the T-Rex because that was the hero of the first movies. And I'm going to make something better." And then it comes to Spinosaurus. That's not what's happening. These people, they were in love with the original. And these are the people that are now in charge with expanding on it.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to have something new And another topic, like the prequel missions for the Halo Evolve campaign, campaign Evolve. You get some prequel missions with Johnson before the events on the Halo ring. I mean, holy shit, that's amazing. So, and this is a bit in the same thing. It's everything that you know and love, and there's something new to explore with these characters. And I think again, it's so good to piss on it because that's what the internet is for, and people are not going to piss on it. I'm 100% sure that's probably going to be. I saw some comments on this. I should have written it down. I was like, really? That's what you're worried? That's why this game is going to suck because, like the I don't know the waves were not far apart enough or some crazy nonsense or whatever. And I was like, yeah. And so no, I'm really, I think it's nice to give something to older players. There, I said it, who did the original and to explore something new. I mean, that's awesome. And no, not everybody's going to be satisfied. Never. Everybody hates Rey Skywalker. I don't. I love it. My daughter loves Rey as much as I love Luke Skywalker. It's when you experience these things. But I'm gonna eat it all up. I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it. I'm really looking forward to it. So
I didn't watch too many things like you did just to keep everything a secret for a surprise for when it releases. Yeah. But definitely with Blackbeard, I'm hoping to sail on his ship again because I remember my brother up until this day can't stop talking about how awesome it was to just sit on the ship with like 40 cannons and just fire. So I hope that's something I'm gonna read.
Yeah, I remember there was, and maybe that person will see this and he said, "Oh, they're the stupid cosplayer." But there was a guy, and he had this clip on YouTube, and the title was in big yellow letters. "I am worried." That was the title. Talk about clickbait. And I was watching the video, and he was pretty positive. So I was "Why did you say I'm worried if you like most of it?" And here comes. Thing that why I don't like it is because you can now autopilot the jackdaw, so it goes, and then you can just look around with the camera. But you can't let go of the wheel. How stupid is that? You can't talk with your crew while doing that. You can't.
As if you're gonna do that.
But
as if Edward would ever do that in the first place.
Yeah, but also that wasn't a mechanic in the original. Why is something that you made up that you want to see in it, and because that is not in it, you're worried that the game is gonna suck? Yeah, I hope there's gonna be a flying dragon, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And now it's a stupid game because there's not gonna be a flying dragon. Yeah, there's not a flying dragon in Life Like We Sing. I don't understand the logic. I hate the internet. Sorry,
but that's the same thing with there was somebody posting because you can scroll through the music sheets and you can have sing certain types of music. Oh, they don't do it random, and it's gonna suck because why would it? Well, now you have to choose some. Brother, calm down. Okay, well, you just don't buy it.
Yeah, don't buy it. It's X. Just go away.
Yeah.
The thing about flying dragons, I'm now cancelling my pre-order because how can it not have flying dragons? This is outrageous.
Andy, I broke my contract. I wasn't supposed to talk about flying dragons, but I did it. Sorry. Yeah.
But also, like the sea shanties, there are sea shanties that people like more than others. So having the ability to skip a sea shanty isn't that much of an issue. I've seen people complain about the inventory menu. And I'm like, why? Do you remember the original when you found a sword or an outfit, you had to go back to the jackdaw, you had to go inside the jackdaw, you had to interact with the mannequin, then you had to equip it. Now, if I find a sword, I can just equip it straight away. There's not a problem with it. It's like you're just complaining about something that doesn't necessarily need to be complained about. I understand, but it's not that big of a deal. Like you said, it's a video game. Like, just enjoy it for what it is. It's not that deep. We also, talking about Blackbeard, we also know that Steed Bonnet is getting extra missions as well. And again, from the deep dive, they've expressed that he's going to get a proper epilogue that gives him a more satisfying conclusion than what he received in the original game. Are you guys looking forward to this as well?
Again, it's new. It's something more than was already there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do think that people tend to forget, because that's these characters are being portrayed in kind of like, oh, they're really nice, you know, and there's all these things, and Blackbeard, you know, he freed slaves, and he had them on his crew, and he's such a good guy. He also sold slaves like a few months after, you know, so it's not. Steve Bonnet was a plantation owner, so he's not this cuddly teddy bear. He abandoned everything to go pirating. He was pretty bad at it, and you know, so yeah, I just hope that he gets elevated to this sad little hero kind of type, because pirates are criminals. You know, Wood Rogers is the hero. I know that's not what we feel. I mean, Jack Sparrow is the hero, but he's not.
No, he's
Norrington was the hero. Yeah. So but still, and everything new and more. I'm going to eat it all up, everything of it. So yeah.
So I'm really glad that they're adding more content for Steed, particularly because the amount of times I've been playing Black Flag, I've had someone come into the live or the comment sections and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize I didn't want them to kill off Steed," and like you do realize that's how he died. Like, he was a pirate for about a year and a half, maybe, if not shorter, and he got
2 years.
Yeah, he got killed. Like most of these pirates during the golden age of piracy, it's only about 2 years long. Like Roberts, for instance, he's one of the most successful pirates ever, but his career is only 2 years long. There's a reason we don't hear much about them, is because they burn out. They live a life on the edge, and they die. This is what happens. I think it's 6 months after Steed spends time with Blackbeard that he then gets caught for piracy and hung for piracy. So I'm really glad that they're adding more context for his story, so that people actually understand that while he was called the gentleman pirate, that's mostly because he was bad at what he was doing, and he had way more money than your average pirate did. So I'm glad that they're adding more to it. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good for his character and for us.
I think one of the few that is actually not in there's quite a few that are not in Black Flag. There's a lot more.
There is.
I think Jennings was actually someone who retired and went back to his plantation. So he was a very successful pirate, and I believe he was also involved with some of the money from the Spanish silver fleet that crashed and was found. And he retired. He just went out of it and enjoyed all his loot without getting killed for it.
I think escaping from piracy is not something that was very, very often a thing. But I'm really excited to see what they can do. And like you said, there's so many pirates at this particular time that were so active that don't appear. So I'm looking forward to the more they can add.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the addition of Jackdaw officers and them giving the Jackdaw extra abilities? For instance, like Lucy Baldwin, if she's part of the Jackdaw, one of her ability is that if you brace just before an attack hits the Jackdaw, it reduces the amount of damage that you get. So I'm wondering how you guys feel about the officers and the abilities, and is this something that you're looking forward to? And
I think it's fun features that they're trying to add, because you want something new for the new generation to add to it. For me, those things are not necessary. You shouldn't overcomplicate things that are not complicated. I just want to shoot cannons and ram ships. I think it's a fun feature that you can really customize your own ship in how you want to operate it.
Yeah. I think same answer I gave before. There's more, and I want more. So there's something new. So
That's good.
I think what people are worried about is that a friend of mine had this weird line that he used to say, and it always stuck with me. We have this big famous painting, the Nachtwacht. Maybe you've heard of it, from Rembrandt, which is very big. You shouldn't paint Smurfs on a Nachtwacht. It's not going to be better. So it's. I think that's very challenging to make something line up and add with what is already there. But from what we've seen so far, like I said, it's just more. Yep. Give me more. Come on. So it's yep.
Good. I'm excited to see how it works gameplay wise. I like the fact that it's giving you these different abilities that you can possibly incorporate in your crew. And like you said, you can customize how you play the game. If you tend to shoot from afar and you brace quite a lot, then maybe it will help you in that sort of way. There's something I've been talking about for a few weeks now, is that Easter eggs in Resynced. Obviously when Black Flag came out, there's so many games that came out after Black Flag, but timeline wise in the franchise, they're actually before Black Flag. So I'm wondering if you guys could see Easter eggs from games that take place before Black Flag, what would you like to see? So we've got Shadows, Valhalla, Mirage, Odyssey, Origins. They all take place before Black Flag. So would you like to see Easter eggs from these games? And what Easter eggs?
I want to see Flying Dragon.
Yeah, you want to see the flying? Yeah, then you have to go to Shadows. Go for
I want that dragon now.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I like to do that because when I finish the game, for instance, like with Gears of War or stuff, I always, when I replay the game with my friends, I always go online to look, are there Easter eggs, and then go hunting for those, because that's just a little extra I can do after I've completely platinumed the game. So it would be fun to do, but in what way, I don't know. I think they are much more creative than I am with that.
I don't know. I like the mission in Syndicate, where you go to Edward Kenway's mansion, and there's these things from the game, and even the crystal cube with the blood inside, the map from the Caribbean, even the jackdaw steer. It was even a bit unrealistic. Like, okay, how did that survive?
Yeah.
But still, it was fun. It was unexpected. I was like, we're going to Kenway Manor. Oh, that's cool. So it's if they're gonna do something like that, fine. I don't need it. Will I enjoy it? Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's fair. I want to talk about tailored missions, and how you guys feel about tailored missions. And as you've played the game, are you happy with the new way that they're reworking the tailored missions? That if you now get caught, it doesn't instantly desync with you, and then you get restarted. It now evolves around you.
I think it is really a really creative way of changing that, instead of just going back and doing it all again. It's not a super difficult task anyway to do the tailing, but if you get caught or fail in one way or another, I think it's cool how they found a solution to just keep going.
Yeah, it's I hope there's an achievement where you get rewarded as a completionist for. I'm not a completionist by far, but some titles I want to platinum. I mean, if you spend 300 hours on a stupid costume, you at least need a platinum.
Yeah.
And I hope there's going to be an achievement for completing it sneaky wise.
Yeah.
Like the Phantom Pain, you had these missions. You got a rank at the end of it. And S rank would require you to not kill any enemy soldier, not be seen, do not trigger an alarm. You could also go in, you can literally drop a tank and shoot the bejesus out of the entire thing. You could do that if you want to, but it's a sneaking game, and you're rewarded for doing it in a sneaky way. But to be fair, when I heard that the frustration about the tailing missions, that wasn't very clear. I don't recollect being so frustrated by the tailing missions. I remember a lot of frustration in Assassin's Creed 3 with the secondary objectives. Like you're in this burning house, and if you get touched by the fire, you fail the secondary objective, and the fire is bigger than the 2D flame thingy.
Yeah.
It's impossible to not get hit by the fire. And then there's like this big red, like here in the top of the corner, it says fail.
Yeah.
And the entire duration of that epic mission, it states you're an idiot, you can't play, you failed it. And that was like the entire. That really was frustrating when you had to. You had to one-off a deer or something, and you were on this cliff. I think it was also related to an item piece, or there was something to it. I can't remember. And I came up, and then you saw the thing down there, and you pressed the button, and he did this and you hear the sound, and he just and then the idiot lands on a rabbit that was like 50 centimeters in front of the deer. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And that kind of thing. I don't recollect that from Black Flag at all. So I don't understand the frustration with the tailing missions. If they, to be fair, if the solution is, oh yeah, you can also just kill them and then you get a note with the information.
Now you have to go walk other and get information from other guards and stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. But if it's just like, oh, just kill them, and then it actually kills the variety of gameplay.
Yeah.
Instead of adding. But, if people hated it and they're going to not so much hate it, I don't care. I'm going to try and sneak. That's what I'm going to do. And I hope there's an achievement. So it doesn't impede people who just want to play it and don't give a rat's ass about the sneaking content or not, and hated the tailing missions, you just want to continue. Fine. But if there's a sneaking mission, I tried to sneak in Halo. I mean, come on. So it's, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
If you're talking about achievements, I would like to, because I love that in Gears of War, to have an Iron Man mission. Just do not die the entire game, and if you do so, you restart from the beginning, even if you're at 99% of the game. Oh. That would be, it would be cool. Yeah.
I actually spoke about this on last week's show, is that I actually don't think it was the fact that when you failed, you desynced, was the frustration. I think the frustration was the sheer amount of tailor missions. I think that was the initial frustration. I do actually agree in trying to do it in a sneaky way. That's the whole point of the game. It's an eavesdropping, for instance. It doesn't make sense with the note on being on every character. I would like it to have some variety to what needs to be done. If you get caught by this guard, maybe you have to go and find the information from somewhere else. I would like to see them talk about the tailor missions on the ships, though. That is the one thing that I want to see, because there was a few there was a few tailor missions in the original, and one of them in particular was where you were tailing a ship through a swamp, and then when you get to a certain point, you get off the jackdaw, and then you follow a little boat through the swamp as well. So I would like to see how, if we get caught, what happens, how that plays out. But I wonder how that's my only thing, is how it works in a ship sort of mechanical way.
I don't mind if you desync that.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, and I don't mind narratively driven forced choices in a game at all. If it's, everybody loved Black Flag for its story. So there are certain things that need to be done in a certain way. I think Assassin's Creed 3 got it wrong there, because of the secondary objectives, the game forces you to do every mission on a single way. So it really kills the ability to approach a mission in a style or a way that you want to. But if it serves the narrative, then I'm fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's like... I don't know. I don't have to have complete freedom in a game. I don't want to have the option. I want to kill Peach at the beginning of Mario. That would be cool. No, I don't. that's not really. I don't. That nah. No.
Let me do how you have this crazy idea in mind, because they are the mastermind in writing the script. So let me play your story.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. So I don't mind. And I actually love that mission. That ends in a chase where you have to jump over the crocodiles and stuff.
Yeah, so I like that mission too.
Yeah.
So, and the reason I'm worried, because if this new way of, if you get caught, it now evolves in this, you need to fight your way out, collect a note. It kind of takes away the uniqueness of that mission, particularly like when you get to the end after following the little boat, you then have to chase the guard through the swamp, while I think Blackbeard's attacking the place. So everywhere's blowing up. You're running through. So if you get caught beforehand, it loses that bit of specialness and that bit of uniqueness. So while I like the fact that it's not desyncing you every time, I do think that there are missions that are going to require a desync, because it's narratively, story-wise, it makes sense. The next question I have is photo mode. It's something that people have been asking for Black Flag for a long time. It's something I'll be using a lot for thumbnails and images and stuff. I want to know if photo mode actually helps in cosplay and in getting images of Rick in a certain way, because you can sort of play around with it. You can get really close to details and you can really see what's going on. So will you guys be using photo mode?
Maybe for backdrops?
Yeah, and maybe for a backdrop. In general, I don't. I'm a videographer, but in general, in games, I don't tend to use photo mode because, well, one, I'm on an Xbox, so the quality is by far not as good as a PC. So I would have to switch to get the really awesome quality. And for the details, I think either Ubisoft provides the stuff needed, because then you get to the quality stuff. But for me, photo mode, it's cool to do. I definitely sometimes use photo mode, but I don't think it's something we use for.
No, I think it would be cool to, sometimes it's nice to. The goal for every photo shoot that I try to have done in the past and try to do is to get everything as real as possible. There's no point in going to a location if you're going to Photoshop the shit out of it,
Yeah.
And so why go to a real ship if you're gonna Photoshop? We did a couple shots on the beach and we Photoshopped the jackdaw in, but that's a real wooden model that I made. It's a real asset. That's
no stock image.
No, it's fresh stock, self-made, and then we put that in. Which idiot goes underwater with a shark head? I remember there was a comment there who said, "Why don't you just use AI for better content?" Yeah, and I said something like, "Yeah, that's what your mother says about you now." But why don't you use AI for a better kid? That's the whole point, to do it as real as possible. Sometimes it's nice to go a little bit overboard with photoshopping and
to make a really cool poster.
Yeah, a bit more dramatic sky. You have a flag in the background or a palm tree or whatever. Yeah. So I think maybe we'll use some images to see, oh, this will be cool, and then line up the camera, and we would actually take Edward out and then use cosplay images in front. But it would be very meager. That's not the point of doing this, Yeah. Even when I did the shark photos, the head is real and it's pushed by my friend who's a diver, and she pushes the shark head towards me, and then I hold it and put the sword, blah blah blah. And then we have a full body shot of the shark in the finished picture. And that's a miniature shark that I painted. And we took it with us in the pool, and we did a couple of photos of the miniature shark under the same lighting conditions. And then I photoshopped that body into the head. So the head, the body, the water, me, everything you see there is a real asset. And at left ways or right ways, I've done something with it on a creative level. So you avoid having to rehash or reuse other people's assets. Yep. It's all fresh, new, creative content that serves the purpose of the image that we want to put down. So no, photo mode. I've done it once for Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
Where my wife is sitting on the speeder bike that was in Sweden at the release party, and I took a couple of pictures of her with Nix on the back of it, and I went into the game and I looked up the crate dragon, and when it jumped out of the sand and I was driving alongside it, I deleted K from the picture and positioned the crate in a screen where there was still some space, and then I put my wife in there on the speeder. I like doing that kind of thing. But not on a regular basis. It's like a little extra when you still want to be. You don't really have new photo shoot plans, or the hype is kind of dying down, but you still want to do something fun. I sometimes also do like movie poster things where you start to combine different faces from different pictures, and it's like the Phantom Menace poster from the original Star Wars. That kind of that kind of thing where it's something new, and then the digital editing becomes an art form on itself, but still preferably all our own handmade assets to the best of our abilities. We're now looking to get a Warthog into a Halo shoot with the Chief. So I've ordered some stuff, an RC car, because I'm not going to make a one-on-one Warthog. I think people have done that.
Cool.
Kudos. Yeah, I think Doe would divorce me, so that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, Doe, if you're watching, would make me really happy. But it's so no one-on-one Warthog. But we're going to test stuff with that. But if there's going to be a Warthog in the pictures, it's going to have real lights in it. It's going to be painted by me. It's going to be edited and modded. It's still my work, and Gil's going to edit it and put it all together. Is it fake? Yeah, of course. It's not a one-on-one Warthog, but it's still an asset that we made, that we are in control of in a way. I love old movies that way. Jurassic Park, Star Wars, where it's all miniatures and real models, and I mean that one-on-one Tyrannosaur animatronic. And it doesn't age. It doesn't get. It still looks as good as the day it came out. You know, and, that's the thing with that shark head in that picture. It's not gonna look worse or better than it did at that moment. It's that thing, and it looks good, and because it's a real thing, and the light hits it, and I'm touching it, and it works.
Yeah, and quality-wise, it's very difficult with photo mode, because I can't take a 1080p or a 4K image and start photoshopping with pictures I made with you, because my camera is by far better and sharper than any screenshot you can take in photo mode. So you're gonna have issues with quality, and you just don't wanna start with it, because then you have to also check the lighting, as you said with the shark, and we did with the crocodile. We also bought the little model crocodile that you made. We've put it there in the same lighting conditions, the same quality, the same camera quality, so it has to be the same. We can't just mix and I don't want to mix and match, but it's just very difficult to mix and match.
I also use the same paint on the model and the big head, so it's one thing.
Yeah, so I was thinking, if you were to, like, let's say you were to do Revelations, if you were to, like, because particularly sometimes you don't get the image doesn't look right on if you're getting a reference picture, for instance. So would you go into photo mode, be able to zoom in, particularly on, let's say, on a piece on the armor, and then use that image as this is what I need to do as a reference point, not necessarily as a Photoshop point of view, but more of a reference in that sort of instance?
Oh, yeah, and it's always frustrating because we have a saying in Dutch, mosterd na de maaltijd, which is like the sauce of your meal after the meal has been eaten, because the photo mode is available when the games come out, and that's when I've wrapped up my publicity work.
Yeah, okay.
It's happening in everything, in every media form. These costumes, these character changes, but at Ubisoft with these things, it's absolutely crazy. You have the CG trailer model, and then you have the poster model, and then you have the in-game model, and then you have the early in-game model, and they are
all different.
They're all different. And people, why? It's Edward Kenway. Yeah, well, if you put them all next together, there's not a single piece that is the same. So that is so frustrating. And I remember working on Jacob and that was the first time going to America, and I had it done. I was like, oh, I'm going to America, and it's all epic. And then I got a call, and I made the code and everything, and it had this fish grain in the weaving pattern on the wool soft parts. There was a lot of leather too, and the original code, the renders that I got early on under NDA, because if you show those images, you have to sell your kit to Ubisoft, and so you got these images, and the code was the wool stuff was like gray bluish. And then the leather was like light brown, umber-like, with these creme-like edges. And it looked really good, and it was done. I was like, oh, I was kind of proud. It was nice. And then I got named, oh, Rick, yeah, they've changed the color. It was all black. It was just. I was like, oh no, and I said, I can't. We have to fly in 2 weeks. I can't do this. It's not possible. And I was able to fix it with painting the stuff, which was a nice learning school in painting textiles and weathering, which I already did quite a lot. But and sometimes every cosplayer that does promotional work for a video game. Will at some point say, okay, but these are the assets, and this is what's being paid for, and this is the product that has been delivered, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's inhuman to keep changing these things up until release. When it's a hobby project, you keep coming back to it, and you can keep editing it, and especially when there's already media out there, you can go back as many times as you want and change it, but at some point you have to say enough is enough. This is it. And the thing is, nobody gives a shit.
They don't even see.
No. If I would have kept Jacob in the colors that I made him, nobody would have given a rat's ass. But I would. And every single picture, but it's not the right color. It's not the right color. It's not the right color. And then come the cosplayers who do the characters after the game comes out. They got all the details right. Yeah, because they can zoom in with photo mode and see how everything's made. And then I'm the official one, and I've got everything wrong. That's not going to happen. So it's a bit like OCD, where you have to, I want to have it right, but it can be a little bit frustrating. And so no, photo mode most het naar de maaltijd. It's
fair enough. That's fair. So we're gonna. That's the questions out of the way. So we now move on to some news for that's been coming out for Assassin's Creed. I think when we spoke last, we talked about Shadows. Do you both enjoy Shadows? Did you play Shadows?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I didn't manage to finish it. Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's just not for me. Again, I really liked how it looked, and in the beginning, I really liked how it felt because you had many cutscenes, and I was like, oh, I'm like playing a good story, a movie again. But I don't know. I just couldn't go through it. So no. I think you can talk better about what you thought of Shadows because you actually finished the game.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it, and again, already biased, because my daughter wore Naue for some promotional work. We went to LA for that. So then you're already sold on it because it's a personal thing. You have invested in it. You've given it your all to get that costume right, and I enjoyed quite a lot of it. Also, when I'm working on a project, doesn't matter what it is, but also with Edward Kenway now, I'm reading some books by Rebecca Simmons and Simons about the pirate code, about so you kind of dive into the whole thing. And when I'm working on it, I put on the soundtracks, or I watch that Netflix series, The Pirates Republic. I want to eat it all up and get the muses going, so you get into the spirit of things, and that really helps. So I did that with Shadows too. And to be fair, everybody was jumping through the roof when they were going to feudal Japan. That's not my favorite. I like it. I like history, but it's not something that I was over the moon about because it just didn't resonate with me all that much. It's beautiful, but I would more like go nuts for some other eras of history, whether it's older Roman or whether it's something newer like modern history with intrigue and politics and whatever. Not that that wasn't there in feudal Japan, but it's just it didn't resonate all that much with me. So I didn't have that, but it was a fun to dive into that. And I think the Yasuke debacle, which everybody was having an opinion about, and so I was like, okay, we'll see how that goes. And to be fair, I really enjoyed his story, and his story is actually the one I like more than nowadays, because for me, he is the one in contact with Oda Nobunaga, be it in flashbacks and stuff. He was more involved in those important people that laid the groundworks through blood for the unification of Japan. So that history feeling that I like so much about Japan was really shown to you through his story arc. And that is what I really liked about. I think people tend to forget that Ezio wasn't real. And maybe that's what people want, because but Yasuke was a real character. It's like one drawing and I think one sentence. That was it. So I have to give credit to Ubisoft to actually take that and then do your own thing with it, your fiction, because it's science fiction, people, fiction. And I think they did great on that. And so I loved a lot about Shadows. It was a blessing to not have 70,000 chests pop up when you open the map. I remember I platinumed the base game for Valhalla, and I'm still a little bit traumatized by that. And I remember opening up the DLC, which was the Paris DLC, I think, for Valhalla. And I opened it up, and then you open the map, and there's all these chests, and I was like, no, not again. And not again shooting the arrows through the nook in the roof, or look for the cave entrance that doesn't pop up on the map under the. I thought England was hollow because every house had this basement with a chest, and whatever you found there, it didn't do much for your progress or whatever. But if you wanted the trophy, 300 hours on the bloody costume, going to Norway and doing all this stuff, I wanted the platinum trophy. For who? I don't know. And my wife said, "Why? You're only getting frustrated by it." Yeah, but I need to. It's like, I don't know. So it was a relief. I enjoyed Shadows. I think I platinumed it in 70 hours or something, 60, 70 hours, something like that. And it was a fun experience. So that was it. I was amazed when they brought out the Attack on Titan DLC.
We don't talk about that. We that never happened. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist.
The thing is, my daughter is into anime, and I always said, well, I only like Pokemon, and that's it. I'm not gonna look at these weird drawn characters. And it's stupid. And well, no, I said, but Attack on. Okay, let's watch it. What? Oh, that's. Can we watch another episode? And then we were like binge watching the thing. Attack on Titan is seriously one of the best series I've ever seen. And if you explain the plot to somebody, it's like these giant naked things that eat people. That sounds absolutely wonderful. But I was on the edge of my seat and there's no fillers. It's like every episode adds to the plot, and that was great. So, and then they had this DLC thing, and I loved it. I was like, when it was announced. People were hating it when it was announced because, that doesn't belong in Assassin's Creed. Remember, there was a cardboard box in Brotherhood because of a Metal Gear overlap. So these weird things have been in AC a lot longer than people seem to remember. But yet, it's reason enough to start bashing and throwing up on Shadow. I was like, you had a chocobo in Origins, people. Let's be real here. So it's been a part of this franchise for longer, and I think it's fine. It's the animus. You can mess with it. That's the whole thing, And so if some nerd at Abstergo decides to make Tetris blocks fall down the sky, he can absolutely do that within the context of the fictional universe that you're living in. So that didn't bother me. Maybe the execution, the scenes, the cut scenes, that I was like, okay, that was maybe done in a little bit less time than the rest of the game. So that's what my gripes that I have with it. I didn't play it, but when I saw the YouTube videos on it, I was like, oh, that's a little bit rough maybe, but the concept I liked. So I love Shadows. I had fun with it.
But even with people complaining about it, or even I didn't finish it, but you don't have to bash it. You cannot like it and just put it down, and that's it. I didn't do rants on socials. Just, well, maybe it's not for you. Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's like, the World Cup is now on, right?
Yeah.
I despise football. Yeah, I hate it. I hate the violence from the publics. I don't understand if one club goes to the other, then these people, they mutate into these vile animals that start stealing just on a birthday because it's Ajax is playing. I wonder how people would respond if I would, like, at a birthday that I organize. So I invite people and they come over and say, it's the new Mandalorian episode. I think people would leave. But with soccer, it's like on the news, it's like people start killing each other and it's war and this. And Ajax has won from it. I was like, how does that relate to, and these guys, there's 22 people kicking a ball on a field of grass and they're getting paid. I'm doing something wrong in life, I think. But what if they just, give away like half of their salary to charity? I think we could solve quite a few problems there. So I don't understand. But I don't make social comments on soccer. I don't go out of my way to rant on how stupid I think it is. I don't like it, so I don't watch it, and I put it away and done. I think the internet needs to learn to spread some positivity. And if something's not your thing, fine, totally fine, absolutely. But then do something else, show something else, talk about something else. I genuinely think the world would be a slightly better place. Just shut the hell up if you don't have anything nice to say. It's very simple. And then
I agree. It's especially when everyone who played Resynced or got to go to Singapore, San Francisco, Paris, whatever it may be, they all were under the same embargo. So on the same day, that embargo ended, and everyone could talk about what they'd seen and what had happened. And the overall consensus of anyone who played it was that it was fantastic. It looks great. It plays great. It's brilliant. It's lovely. And then instantly you get people going, oh, well, these are all paid reviews. These are clearly people, I'm really worried about this game because everyone's being really positive about it. It's like, maybe, just maybe, they're being positive because it's actually good. And maybe this is something that you can enjoy and get in with. And your point about being overly negative, that's something that sells really well on the internet right now. I've had all sorts of issues and complaints and whatever, but the happiest I've been in the last 6 months is when I loaded a video game up that nobody else is talking about, and I got a chance to just enjoy it and play it and not have to worry about, well, it doesn't look like this or it doesn't play like this. Just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, or if you don't like it, like you said, don't watch it. My partner's been watching a TV show called The Handmaid's Tale. I am not interested in it one single bit. I haven't watched a single episode of it. I do not care for it. But I'm not going to sit here and tell her how bad it is and how rubbish it is. And
you just did.
I'm not gonna. I'm not telling her that she can't watch it because I don't like it. I just think that there's too much hate in the world right now, and we should just let people enjoy themselves. But the reason I was asking about Shadows is that we know that there's an update coming on the 16th, which is Tuesday. And it's heavily rumored to be titled Black Tide. Teasers and leaks and rumors and stuff are suggesting that it will be a crossover event between Resynced and Shadows to try and tie the two in together. Are you guys are you guys going to load up Shadows, have a try of this DLC? I can see that Gil's like, no, not a chance, nowhere. So I wondered how you felt about this. Are you interested? Are you looking forward to it?
To be fair, I don't think I'll play it when it comes out. These are the things that I boot back up again when when there's a new adventure coming for Assassin's Creed, when we're asked to do things, or when I'm start making a new costume. And last year when Black Flag was coming around the corner, I was replaying Rogue and AC3, and and then I started playing some DLC things that I hadn't done before. And this sounds like something that I would boot up when I have an appetite for Assassin's Creed, something new, but there isn't much new to be seen. And then there's like these few little bits and pieces that I haven't done before. And I was like, oh, then you can get back into things. But it's not installed on my PS5 right now. I don't know. It's I don't think I'm going to boot it up when it comes out, but I think I'll play it somewhere in the future.
Yeah. I think for me, it's not something I'm gonna relive or start up again. I really got hurt by Shadow, so that's not something I'm gonna boot up again.
So I actually uninstalled Shadows on my Xbox yesterday to download something else. And it's the first time Shadows has been off my console since it came out. So I'm probably not going to load it up either. I might be able to play it on Anywhere Play, but I probably won't. I'll probably just come back to it at some other point. And
to be fair, it's I don't know to discourage people from trying it. It's more that, to be fair, this is the first thing that you mentioned it to me that I know of it. That it was actually a thing, because the negativity on social media and stuff. It's so horrible that I try to have this own little corner of it, which is all about creative nerd stuff. There's no politics. There's no there's nothing else on my Instagram page except the stupid costumes. In fact, if you look at that thing, it would almost suggest that I'm quite a shallow person without any opinions on what's happening in the world. That's not exactly true, but it's all I want to promote. That's what it is, and it's also all I want to look up. So I'm following people that are also into costuming and being creative and that kind of thing, and I really like that. And it's, I don't know. This is the first thing I heard of it, because I don't spend that much time on social media, to be fair. So I hadn't heard about this at all. So I didn't even know it was coming. But at this moment, I'm not playing Shadow, so I'm not going to play this. In fact, I think if I reinstall the game now, I would put it down very fast, because I had to get used to all the controls. But I'm like in the end of a save game. I'm like at the end of the entire thing. So I don't, that wouldn't just work. I'm playing other things right now. I'm catching a lot of Pokemon with my son. So it's it's not the thing. I'm now looking forward to what's coming. Resynced, obviously, and some other titles that have my focus now. So I don't want to discourage anyone. I don't want to say it's bad. I don't know. It's just not. I didn't know about it, and it's not in my to-do list at the moment. So.
I think the biggest reason is that one, I play other games that I want to finish, then I also have to do the controls again, and we have enough stuff to edit and stuff. So it's not that I have the time to boot it up and play it. So.
But it's the controls thing is really like there was something I recently purchased that I installed on my Xbox. Didn't have the space, so Shadows has to go, simply because I haven't played it for a long time. Since I completed Claws of Awaji, I haven't really touched it, so it's taken up space. And when you're playing the older games, like I said, I've gone back to Black Flag, and I'm playing that, and we're talking about Resynced and stuff. The controls are so different that it takes you a good amount of time to get used to the controls again. And like yourselves, I don't think I could do that. So while I will at some point play this new DLC, I probably won't touch it next week at all. It'll be somewhere down the line like, oh, I really want to play Shadows. Let's download it and that way. I wanted to talk to you guys about the real life treasure hunt that is going on with Unsolved Hunts and Ubisoft, where they've partnered together to reward people with a $500,000 prize. What are your thoughts on it? Have you seen this? Do you know much about it?
Yeah, my first thought was I could really use the money to buy a house for myself. But I haven't participated. I was doubting to participate in, and I thought, well, then maybe we can do the treasure hunt together or with a friend of mine. But I know I don't have the time at the moment to do something else besides our content.
I was like, okay, some random guy is gonna find $500,000 on a beach or something. How many more costumes do I have to make? How many times do I have to bleed before? No, it's. I don't care. I'm gonna look at that. I think there were some news reports on financial situations left and right, and I don't know where that money's coming from, where it goes, if it could be used on other things. I don't know if it works, if it helps Ubisoft, then I'm all for it because I want to see Ubisoft succeed. I want to see Black Flag succeed. I want more Assassin's Creed. I want to meet more of those amazing creative people that have been so kind to us over the entire last 15 years. And so if this is a promotional campaign that works, and in the end, that's a comment too that you get on a lot of games that it's all about money and it's all about it's all about money.
Yeah, it's a company.
Yeah. The company. That's true for the shoes you're wearing, mate. So it's, they don't give a shit if you walk nice or if your feet are healthy. They want to make money on the shoes that you buy. That's it. It's a commercial company. Yeah. It's not a foundation. It's not for hungry children in somewhere. It's a commercial enterprise, which is true for every single game that is being put out there. So I don't give a shit about that. I just hope there's people working on these games, nice, cool, creative people, and I owe Ubisoft a lot. So I just wanted to succeed. So if this treasure hunt thing helps, go right ahead. Am I actively pursuing digging that thing up? No, I don't know. I don't have the time. Would be nice though, but no.
Yeah, but it's fun because they did something similar when Black Flag, well, not with the money, but with the little treasure hunt when Black Flag released, because I remember buying the collector's edition, but like a few weeks ahead of release, you got sent this DVD and the treasure map was in it, and you could log in online and do some little hunts for stuff that you could later claim in the game itself. Nice. Yeah, so I remember that. That was then a little treasure hunt with, well, not for 500,000 euros, but some in-game stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think it's fun that they do something similar like that again, but I'm not actively pursuing that, although I'd like the money.
So this is something I talked about on last week's show, is that while I think the concept is great, and I like the idea of this treasure hunt, it actually takes, they've stated in their official release, is that it can take anywhere from 2 to 5 years to complete this treasure hunt. So there's 15 puzzles that you need to solve. And once you solve the puzzles, it will give you a real life location where the company doing it will send you out to the location to do the final shoot of dig up the prize, and there will be a physical treasure chest with I think it was 350,000 pounds worth of gold coins, and then a crystal skull which is in Black Flag, and that would be worth 150,000 coins or whatever. But you to get into it, you have to pay money to get into it. So I feel like they'll make some money back from people paying for it, but I wouldn't want to sit there for 2.5 years to pay to go and do a treasure hunt.
To enter, so I was like, do I get extra information? I didn't do a deep dive into it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $40 or something to take a guess, and if it takes 2 to 5 years, yeah.
I think it's a bold thing. It's big. It's crazy. It's news, and in that form, it's publicity too. But is it going to be a huge Black Flag or Assassin's Creed fan that's going to find that treasure?
No, probably not.
So I have a very different angle on that. Of course, sometimes people say, "Yeah, money doesn't make you happy." Yeah, bull. The thing you can do with money definitely makes you happy. So that's not entirely true, but it is true. I mean, I've won the lottery 4 times. First time with my wife, and then with my 3 kids. And if we were in this for the money, we're stupid.
Yeah, you would have to do something else.
Yeah, we're very stupid. So it's Ubisoft's always very kind to us, but trust me, we spend more than we get, because it's this stuff is just crazy expensive to do. You know, if I look back at the things that we've done, and we're just extremely passionate about all of this, and that's maybe the only thing that I don't understand about this. Like I said, the treasure hunt, I get the PR hook, the exposure, because of the outrageousness, almost, whether it's positive or negative, but it's very crazy. So I think that's genius, and whether it's good or bad publicity is publicity. So that's good. So again, I hope it just flows Ubisoft votes, because that's what I want. But again, is it going to be an Assassin's Creed or Black Flag fan that's going to?
Yeah, probably not. So one of the last things I wanted to talk about, did you guys see the parkour leap of faith record jump? Did you see this?
Yeah, that was because I'm Temu Edward, which was in the comments under one of the TikTok videos, but that was Edward Conway. So that was pretty cool.
And your costume sucks.
Yeah,
just so you know.
Oh, right.
The thing is, I saw it. These people are athletes. This was very cool. It was very sick, and it was nice. Yeah,
You're not gonna do it.
I was going to ask, would you be up for jumping from any height?
Yeah, I've done that in the past for Syndicate. They had an activation at Vienna Comic Con in 2015. I broke my thumb actually there, and the thing is, they had this in Dutch. It's a hoogwerker, a high worker, which is like what should have killed the Velociraptors in the original Jurassic.
Okay.
Look at this twisted frame of reference. I can explain an English word without knowing the word by hands of Jurassic Park, but it's like this little thing that you can use to move people upwards with an accordion construction. And they had that, and there was this pillow cushion air thing, and then people could go up, and I think it was up at about 10 meters or something. And
that's high.
Yeah, it was quite high. And then people would have to take their shoes off, and then they would have to jump. There's a video if you YouTube on VIECC Syndicate or VIECC Rick Boer, you can see it at the ending of the video. And I was there, and I was like, yeah, that would be cool, But people had to take their shoes off and then cross their arms and land on their ass. Basically, that's what was the thing about it. And cool activation, because the leap of faith obviously is a thing. But the thing is, that's not a leap of faith now, is it?
No.
Taking your boots off and crossing your arms and landing on your ass. That's not how it works. So I said, well, I got some free run training back in 2013 for Black Flag that we didn't do shit with, but I did do that. So I can do the leap of faith. Shall we do it? But then I'm not going to take off my boots, and I want you to film it and stuff. And they were like, yeah, you sure you want to do it? Yeah, sure. So I went up there as Jacob, and I did it. I did the whole spread your arm thing and flip towards your back, and then you land on the thing. But I asked them to heighten it because wasn't sure if I was going to make the flip in time before hitting the cushion, pillow, whatever you want to call it. My wife wasn't very enthusiastic about it, but it was really cool to do. And the thing is, so we heightened it, I think, up to 13 meters, 14 meters or something. Was higher. We couldn't go any higher. And then I did that, and I think I broke my thumb because it was hurting for a year after when I rolled off the cushion because I flipped over my own thumb. That really hurt. And but yeah, I only said it to my wife when we came back to the hotel. And I was like, "Oh, it's painful. I don't think I can put the glove on again." It was the final day, so it was okay. But it was so stupid to do the jump and be okay, and then hurt your stupid thumb when rolling off the dumbass cushion. So that was kind of silly, but that was cool. So if the opportunity were to arise, yeah, I would definitely do it. Not into the water because that's a technique, and water.
You love water, though.
Yeah, I do. But the surface tension of hydrogen bonds, it's quite heavy. So if you land wrong, it's game over. So very deep respect for the stunt guys at Red Bull doing that. And but would I jump on a cushion or even the haystack? Yeah, I think I would do that, but definitely not into the water. No.
So I said that when I watched it, I was like, I'd give the hay bale a go. I wouldn't want to jump into the sand. The sand would not that, but the hay bale I'd probably jump into.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice. But again, I've done it before. Not as high, obviously, but it was cool. It was really awesome experience.
That's cool that you got to do that. So that's all of the assassin questions. Now, at the beginning of the episode, you mentioned Ocarina of Time, and it was on my unrelated news because I remembered you talking about it, and it's my favorite. It's in my top 5 games of all time. It's probably my number 1. So I wanted to ask you how you guys felt about the announcement that it's getting a remake.
You go first.
That's going to be all you because I don't even know how the cover. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
What?
I don't even know.
No, that's crazy.
Time is.
He hadn't seen Star Wars either.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Star Wars, not Lord of the Rings.
No, what? No Lord of the Rings.
No, we're losing you. Anyway, so it's when I actually talked to my daughter about it. She laughed so loud. I remember biking to school as a little boy, whistling the Ocarina of Time Hyrule Field theme, and my bike was a Epona. And so Ocarina of Time has this special place. And then the teaser thingy. When I saw that, I could feel my heart pounding, and I was like, I think I can cry now. I'm not going to do that because that would be really stupid. But it's holy moly. So I was, but it's crazy. I mean, we got Black Flag, we got Ocarina of Time, we've got Halo coming back. I think I can die after 2026. I hope not. But you know, it's crazy. Yeah. And again, there's all these comments. Can people do something new? I don't give a shit, man. It's my whole entire youth that's coming back.
Yeah, give me Ocarina of Time. I would say that Ocarina of Time is close to being the most perfect game ever made. And the fact that we're getting a remake, I'm super happy about. I don't know if it's enough to make me want to buy a Switch 2, but I'm very happy that it's getting...
He didn't like Black Flag. He's not going to buy a Switch 2 for Ocarina. You've never played... Well, who are you people? I'm done. No.
You're just old, man.
Yeah. No, but it's... yeah, crazy. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm really excited for it. And while we're talking about remakes, I actually played a remake of another favorite game of mine, Final Fantasy VII. I hadn't touched it. It's recently come to Xbox, so I thought I'd give it a go. I actually really enjoy it. The fact that it there are changes from the original to the remake. Some changes that I think are fantastic. I wanted to ask you guys if you've played Final Fantasy, if you've played this remake, because and the reason I wanted to bring it up was because I feel like it's almost like a Black Flag Resynced thing. Like the original is fantastic, but the remake is such a different game to the original that it actually, I think, is slightly better.
I think that the Final Fantasy remake is closer to the Resident Evil remakes in that it's actually a completely different game from what it was, just having the same story and stuff. And I have only played Final Fantasy X myself, which is my favorite, with Tidus and Yuna. My wife plays all the Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy IX is her Ocarina of Time. So it's I don't play them because I can mow the grass away in front of her feet. So my wife plays Final Fantasy, but she's studying right now, so she's in the second one. And we were also getting hyped because Kingdom Hearts is coming out again on Switch 2, so we're also going to get those because she plays those as well. So I think it's fantastic. So our household's looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII remake conclusion, but I'm not the one playing them currently. But when my wife finishes them, I'm probably going to play them too.
I'm surprised that you haven't played Final Fantasy, Gil, or Ocarina of Time, or watched Lord of the Rings.
I think I've played Gears of War and Assassin's Creed on repeat for the past 10 years, and Destiny, and that's about my gaming experience combined with The Witcher.
I'm so glad that I didn't know he hadn't seen Star Wars, because I would never send him a message.
No, probably no. Yeah, but I've watched the first one before. San Francisco.
Oh yeah, where?
Where
did you watch Star Wars?
Yeah, with you.
So in the last year, that's. I'm more surprised about the Lord of the Rings. How,
Well, but my brother is a mega nerd Lord of the Rings fan, and I've tried to watch the first one, but I couldn't really get through it. I 3D printed the helmet from Lord of the Rings, which you have to paint, but I haven't watched the movies.
It's up to Star Wars though, so
yeah.
That's the end of the show, guys. I will do the closing statements, but it's been great talking to you. That's been fantastic.
Likewise.
Yeah, definitely.
So we are now ranked on Google, guys. You can find tons of episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and TikTok. One of the ways that you can support the show is by rating us on Spotify. Get involved in all the comment sections across all socials. We reply to as much as we can, and we'll talk about it on the show. I want to say thank you to both of my guests today for taking the time out of their day to join me. On next week's show, I have Billy from BPR Gaming returning for a third time. He's going to talk about his time with Resynced in Singapore, which is going to be fantastic. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone listening, to all of the gifts that have been provided. It means a lot to us. And before we go, guys, where can everybody find you?
Well, me, you can find on Instagram on Mentors Collection.
RBF Productions NL, or if you just Google Rick Boer, you'll find some crap across the net.
You'll come a long way.
Yep.
Well, it's been great having you guys on. I appreciate you taking the time out and wanting to chat with me. It means a lot, and it's been great talking to you both.
Thanks for having us,
so much,
and maybe see you again somewhere in the future. So if you
Definitely give it a go.
Talk nerd stuff, we're always happy to do so.
Yeah, definitely hit us up.
Perfect. Well, thank you, guys, and I'll see you all soon.